Your morning blitz begins now.
Get that chance. Go play for a national championship. We're going to swing as hard as we possibly can. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
On the Blitz.
Welcome in to Tuesday on the Morning Blitz. 6:06. Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. Morning.
I hate to bring up football again, but...
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
I never bring
what
up
What
football.
do you got?
How wild is it that the Penn State game is at noon? I thought that'd be a night game for sure.
I thought it was a night game.
No, it's noon. They just set the game time. Ohio State versus Penn State, November 2nd, noon.
Oh, they're going to be pissed over there.
No whiteout.
Yeah, that doesn't really...
It doesn't have the same effect.
No.
It doesn't.
Oh, they're going to be so mad.
Yeah.
Why did... I wonder who decided... Was that the TV networks decided
I guess.
that? I mean...
I guess.
Is that a big noon on Fox deal?
I don't know. Let's see. Penn State robbed of primetime slot for Ohio State game.
Aw.
So, yeah, they must not be happy
Yeah,
about that.
Fox.
Yeah,
Yep,
big
that's it.
big noon kickoff on Fox. Gus Johnson. Yeah, same as this week. This week, Nebraska, same deal.
Yep. Isn't that crazy? I was very surprised to see that.
Oh, they got to be furious. Oh, they live for that night game whiteout, man.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite the same when it's at daytime hours.
Yeah, or it's against, Illinois. They want it against us every year if they can get it.
It's wild.
And, the same thing happened to them 2 years ago. They had the big noon kickoff. That must be a Fox thing. Fox is doing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they have in their contract they can all flex games wherever they...
Right.
Whatever the best for that ratings and revenue thing.
That's it's big TV money now that supports everything, and
Absolutely.
so you gotta kind of let them schedule stuff. So
yeah, well, I mean, there's games every year on the Cock now. There's games,
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, so that's weird.
I mean, I'm not upset.
No, I mean, game will be over by 3:30. Get the whole rest of the day.
Well, that night game whiteout, man, it does have an impact. I've watched it have an impact.
Sure, it does.
So
Didn't we play Akron at night this year?
Yeah, but that was here.
And thank
I know,
God it
but
was
it's
at night.
still funny.
Otherwise, we might not have escaped.
Yeah, I don't know why that was a night
The
game.
featured game.
I don't know
Akron
why.
versus Ohio State.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Anyway, I think it's funny.
Send the Buckeye fans home pissed.
Came here because they said they'd put up at least 50. They only put up 37. This game sucks.
Yeah, wow. Poor Penn State. Not too happy in Happy Valley.
No,
At least this week, anyway.
but I'm fine with it.
How are your eyes?
Well, Lewis, it remains to be seen. I have an appointment tomorrow to get my right eye checked out. And, I have my left eye surgery next week. So, I appreciate anybody who lets to say a prayer for me. And honestly, it's been a really weird thing having my eyes done.
I imagine.
It's been a weird sensation every day. It doesn't feel like it's getting any clearer, my vision. So I'm quite panicked most every day.
No.
It's a very odd and very distressing situation,
But
I
it's-
hate to say.
But the doctor said it's normal. Everything that's going on is
The
normal,
doc-
and everything looks good.
So far, everything looks good, and this must be maybe a normal process, but it doesn't feel normal, and I can't convince my brain that everything's fine.
Right.
It's like I go down sort of a dark hole of desperation. It's very tough to lift myself out of it.
I'm sure it is. Have you been walking noses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
When you said the words and they sliced into my eye, I was like, "What? That
it's
sounds
just
like."
around and not
I
your-
know, but it just sounded like. Keep me away from that. I don't know, but I get it. People,
Well,
and this is a normal thing. A lot of people do this every day.
Yeah, it's for me, a genetic issue. I just got it I have it in my genes. You get early cataracts, and I got them, baby. And I'm right in the middle of the two surgeries, and it is unsettling to say the least. But I appreciate you asking. Hopefully, things will just keep getting better and better.
Because you want it to feel normal again before the next one. Otherwise, you're like, wait a minute.
Well, the weird thing is my surgeon, he was amazing, but he said he had his done on a Friday, and he was back to work on a Monday. A surgeon. I'm like, well, I couldn't perform surgery, and I'm 8 days out. So It's a real weird thing to wrestle with, honestly. And I'm sure people can relate if you've had any type of medical procedure and things don't seem to be progressing as you thought they would.
You said it's been 8 days.
8 days.
Wow.
Today's day 8. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so anyway, guys, that's that.
Well, you can still see, so that's a good thing.
I can still see, yes. Yes, I can still see.
Yeah, but you're not comfortable.
I am not comfortable. Not yet. They say once you get the second eye done, I guess some people can do their natural lens and, what do you call it? I have the lens they inserted on my right eye and my natural lens on my left eye.
All right.
And the natural lens is used to adjusting from far away to close up, far away. But when you get this lens that I have, it does one thing. So my right eye is doing one thing, my left eye is trying to constantly adjust.
Right.
And it makes things not
Man.
right.
I gotcha.
Anyway, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I've never had my eyes operated on, so I don't know what that sensation feels like to be able to, relate.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you hear sliced into your eye.
Right.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, sounds like
Well, I just like to make everything dramatic, Vic. It just makes me feel better.
There was one point in the surgery where they thought they were going to lose it.
No, that's not true. That's not true. But have you ever like really hit your leg or your arm or something, and you know that when you look at what happened, there's going to be a giant gash with blood pouring out, but instead there's not even a bruise.
Right.
So it doesn't really reflect the level of pain. That's what I'm going through now.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
Well, hopefully the next one goes well, and your
I hope the
vision
next one, evens me right out, guys, and then we'll be back to me not being cranky every morning.
Dear sweet baby Jesus with your golden hair.
Yes.
Can't even
please.
utter a word. Please use your baby Jesus powers to...
No mocking. I need a sincere prayer here.
Morning Blitz Trivia, what do you got?
$25 to waterbeds and stuff to the first one who can text in the correct answer. During Sunday Night Football, video captured quarterback of the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers, on the sideline eating what? What was Aaron Rodgers eating on the sideline Sunday night during the football game? Be the first one to tell us at 99-700, and you'll get the gift card.
3 days grace on your Morning Blitz, 623 with Vic, Kelly, and Lewis. Morning Blitz Trivia. I know the answer to this. I hate the answer to this. Let's just say it and move on as quickly as possible. This is one of the things that I find just disgusting.
Oh, well, I don't think it's meant to be, appealing.
No, it's not.
But he was doing it.
Oh, I know.
All right, so the Morning Blitz...
Why couldn't we ask her, hey, what color was the General Lee on the Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah, this isn't one of those kind of trivia questions that we do every morning. So, you want to ask, what's 5 plus 5? I mean...
Yes.
The General Lee was Fred. Everybody knows that.
It's better than this answer.
Who doesn't know that?
Kelly is the same way. Look at Kelly.
Yeah,
both of us are
so gross.
Just get the answer out, on to the next thing.
All right, well, the question was, video caught Aaron Rodgers on the sidelines. He's, of course, the quarterback for the New York Jets. Sunday Night Football. Eating what?
Stuff that comes out of his nose.
Yes. Yeah, he did, man. It was clear as could be. He getting up in there and then was rubbing around it. And then the way he, it was like he was popping a Tic Tac in his mouth.
I feel like you may be able to say this is a mental health condition that is so, it's just such a regular part of his, existence that he doesn't realize he's doing it, because it reminds me of that trichotillomania where people pull out their eyelashes and eyebrows and they get bald spots on their scalp because they pull out their hair. And it's a way that they soothe their mind, so they pull out hair. And it is a mental health condition. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if this is something like that, where it's a condition where that's what you do to I don't know, man. Maybe not. Maybe you're just gross.
I had a science teacher in Grove City. Yeah, he did it. Sometimes they'd go in his hair, though. It was weird. I bet anybody who went to Grove City then could probably text in the name of that sign. I'm not going to say his name on the air, but if you know, you know. I'd love to know if anybody out there knows. You can text in at 99700.
I feel like it's
Grove
just such
City
a weird thing. You don't even realize you're doing it at some point, because for Aaron Rodgers, he has to know there are cameras on him constantly.
Yeah, you would think. Then he was sniffing what they're saying was smelling salts. Like he's standing, it was in a glass jar, but it was some solid, and he just kept putting it in up to his
Maybe it's
nose
Vicks Vapo Rub.
Maybe.
He's a weird dude. He's a head case, but I've said that he's a head case for years.
Yeah, I know you have, and a lot of people like to rip on him. I don't normally. I didn't like what he said about the media the other night. You know, like blaming it. Dude, it's not the media's fault you're losing games. You can't blame them for that.
Right.
And then this, I'm not going to defend this by any stretch.
Yeah, I think he's, he's something else. That's for sure.
Everybody is really insistent that Thick, that the General Lee was orange, not red.
Okay.
It is.
Doug,
yeah. I
Albert,
kind of glazed past
burnt
that.
orange.
I kind of
Shadows.
glazed past
Very,
that.
very burnt orange.
Chuck said it.
It's kind of orange with a rebel flag on the top.
Yeah.
And an 01 on the side.
Right.
I've seen, hang on, let me count on one hand, 0 episodes of the Dukes of Hazzard. I know a ton about the show, and even I know the General Lee's orange.
You want a cookie?
Well, no.
I do. Are we handing out cookies?
Of course Kelly does.
Actually, do you have one? Yeah. How do you not know the General Lee's orange? It's an iconic Hollywood vehicle.
I know. It's a burnt orange, okay?
How about this? Sharon says she had a coworker who did what Aaron Rodgers did, and she got sent to HR for calling him out on it. Calling her coworker out on
being gross?
Being gross, and she got sent to HR.
Apparently
That's interesting.
So is it a condition, Sharon, is what I'm asking. Did HR tell you, look, this is a psychological condition that this coworker has, and you are absolutely not allowed to say anything to them about it?
Then that should be documented ahead of time before you do it.
Yeah.
That should be like an internal memo.
What's that coded at your medical office?
Right.
What's the number
that's
on that
great.
one?
Gross. Gross.
I wonder why. Why that's... So did they say something to the coworker who did it?
Yes, she said something to the coworker, and she got called into HR for it.
That's crazy.
Well, I guess that just means if you see somebody doing that and you're grossed out, you have to go to your boss and tell them you're grossed out and not say something to the person, I guess is the issue there, right? And then what does your boss do in that case?
Well,
I mean, is it against the
there a way
rules?
that you can maybe turn in a different direction so you don't see them do it? Because HR bosses diffuse. Unless it's a serious HR thing, like they'll diffuse. If it's like
is this like somewhat of a hygiene issue? I feel like because it's gross, it's body fluids, and whatever. And is it in the handbook that you need to have proper hygiene, or is it just an unspoken thing in the workplace?
Or is it you're the only one complaining, so maybe this is a you problem. We haven't had any other complaints about him, and Thaddeus over there is a fantastic worker.
I don't know.
Every boss tries to diffuse.
Weird, man.
Come on. You have to admit, there's diffusion all the time.
I mean, it's better than wiping it on the desk, I guess.
No boss wants to walk in and go, yeah, HR issue today. I'm going to lay the smack down on this guy. It's always
that would be an embarrassing meeting, but you're in HR, so it is your job to have embarrassing meetings all day long.
You know which HR I wanted to be in? I swear to God. There was a guy that worked at a radio station I did. He ran minor league baseball games at night, made sure everything played. Well, he got a little handsy with himself at night.
Oh, geez.
And the
really?
cleaning lady walked in on him.
Oh, my God.
And saw the whole thing. So obviously they let that go.
But I bet they decide. I bet they took time to decide because those kind of people are hard to find. You know, your part-timers who are willing to come in and do minor league baseball games. That is a difficult position to fill. So I bet they sat on that for a few days.
I wanted you know how when you let somebody go, there always has to be a witness in the room so it doesn't look like, you know what I mean? I wanted to be the witness. I just wanted to see the look on the face. I just wanted to be the fly on the wall.
Yeah, the cleaning lady didn't like being a witness.
No, she did not, but I wanted to be.
All right, Tyler Weiss from Columbus was the first one to text in the correct answer. Scores $25 to Waterbeds and Stuff.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
6:40, Stick, Kelly, and Lewis. Little I Got Something on a day where we still have a Sonic Temple song for you to listen for. Ronnie gave it to you yesterday. And then tomorrow at noon, they're going to drop that entire lineup.
Yeah, we get the rest.
So it should be fun.
Finally.
Who's got something first?
I got something.
What you got?
A new study suggests that people suffering from clinical depression might someday be able to put on a headset and administer a light electrical current to their own brains to ease symptoms. Researchers say a clinical trial involving more than 170 people in the U.S. and the U.K. showed promise toward that end, and if further research backs up the results, it could be a huge game changer for those with depression that does not respond to standard treatments like psychotherapy and medication.
Maybe I should try this.
Well, in this study, they had a test group and they had a placebo group, and neither knew which got which cap, but they put on this like swimming cap looking thing, and it administered a weak and painless current to their brain through an electrode placed into the scalp. So there was this placebo group, and they got like an initial sort of tiny jolt, but they did not get a current. After 3 months, both groups showed improvement, but those using the real current showed significantly greater improvement in their symptoms.
Oh, wow.
So if they can replicate this, if they can do some further research on this, there may be a day in the not-too-distant future that you can buy your own cap that could stimulate your own brain out of some clinical depression.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'd be patient zero for that. It's not working. Not working.
Back to the weed.
Yeah. Interesting idea, though. They have caps for everything now.
Yeah.
Caps to sleep in, caps to regrow your hair, now caps to finish off your depression.
If it works, man, that'd be great.
I like a good cap. You or me next?
I'll go.
All right.
Texas man was pulled over and given a citation for operating a vehicle without license plates while going for a test drive in a car that he was test driving at a dealership. He got pulled over and was given a ticket, and evidently the dealership and the police have been having this issue for a while. I don't know why it's been going on for a while. So they just started ticketing drivers. And here's Daniel Rocha talking about what happened to him.
When he stopped me, he asked for my driver's license, and he says, the reason why I stopped you is because you don't have a license plate in the back. And he said, this has been ongoing with these dealers, and we've been getting on these guys for doing that. In order for us to make them abide, we're going to start citing the customers. It does upset me that, I'm in the middle of this feud.
So he said, in order to make them abide, we're going to start citing customers. Well, how does that make the dealership start?
You're not penalizing the dealer, it's you're penalizing the customer.
Oh, if word gets out that you might get a ticket if you test drive a car over there, you're not going to go buy a car over there.
Well, you're definitely not going to test drive one. But why? Why is that even why are the police not saying to the dealership, if you do this again, we're going to cite you? That would stop it, wouldn't it? I mean, why are they letting people test drive vehicles? Because they usually have those dealer tags that are legal.
Yeah, and I think the citation is for failure to display your license plate. I think it's the failure to display thing. What, I don't remember what exactly called, but why can't you fine the dealership for that instead of ticketing the driver?
I mean, this is ridiculous.
It
sounds like they've probably tried that, and they're not getting any cooperation, so now they're taking the next step.
Okay, well, then there's some stupidity in charge down there that needs fired. I mean, I don't know who... the chief of police, whatever, who's dealing with the dealership, and the dealership's not listening. I mean, this is stupid. This is what our tax dollars are paying for.
Might be time for Sketcher Man to take a trip down there.
How much are dealer plates? What are you spending on as a dealership?
I don't
on these tags.
I think it's just a cardboard tag that they write.
Well, no, it's a different color. It's got a different kind of number on it. It's a dealer tag.
Okay, licensed dealers can purchase and print licensed temporary tags for $15.
Right. So, I mean...
this is just the dumbest thing.
They have to pay to keep up their dealer tags with the state.
It's just stupid, though.
You're trying to save a buck, and now you're going to cost yourself all your customers. Lewis, you got something?
I have an issue with, a lack of common sense running the country.
Well, I just don't understand why, like, the dealership wouldn't put a dealer plate, even if they had one plate that had, like, the magnet thing that you slap to the back of the car. Like, why wouldn't you just have a test drive plate? That seems
That's
like
what I mean.
A fail on the part of the dealership for sure. But I don't run a car.
I think
dealership,
everybody's
so
failing in this situation, except for the person getting fined.
Poor guy getting cited. All right, are you guys into beauty pageants?
I can't wait to see another one. Okay. Not really. But,
I am absolutely not into beauty pageants. However, I do have a dear friend who was Miss Ohio USA or Miss USA Ohio. It was in the Miss USA pageant, not the Miss America pageant. She won Miss Ohio for 1999, I think.
Wow.
Anyway, she still does the pageants and scene and all that, when it comes to Ohio. So, I don't know, man. I appreciate a beautiful person, but I'm not into the pageants.
Well, back in the 50s and 60s, NASA, the National Administration of Space and Aeronautics, NASA, they shoot rockets into space, they held beauty pageants. And the title changed each year. Names like Miss NASA, Queen of Outer Space, Miss Guided Missile. That last one didn't play very well, but it really was a legit title. But yeah, NASA beauty pageants back in the 50s and 60s. Because I think in the 50s and 60s, pageants were the thing. Before the pageant mom came out and the negativity that rightfully goes with those things. I don't know. We still have like the pumpkin show queen and the fair queens, and they always do the
still have
little pageant
homecoming
things.
Queens and prom queens.
Yeah, it's still a thing. I think.
I feel like Misguided Missile is a great hub name too.
Yes,
I think that could be your OnlyFans account name.
Misguided Missile.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if the connotation fits.
I think it does.
If you're looking for no accuracy, we've got it here. All right, text on the Morning Blitz, 6:51 with Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, and Lewis on a Tuesday where we'll see a high of 78 today and mostly sunny skies. Not too shabby at all. Get outside and enjoy that. Anybody?
Okay, I'll get outside and enjoy it.
You gonna do some yard work today?
No, I'm not. I mowed yesterday. I'm done with yard work.
No.
For the week, anyway. The leaves are falling, though. They'll be fun to rake soon.
Just leave them. They're called leaves. They're not called rakes. Leave them there.
Yeah, it's not good for the grass.
Need a mulching mower.
Yeah,
just mow
mulch them.
Oh, I do, but then they get too many of them, and then the mower doesn't like that so much.
Well, you need to do it more often.
Yeah.
And then it won't get giant clumps of, you know what I'm saying?
So daily.
Yeah.
We have a lot of trees.
How big's your freaking yard? It's going to take you 15 minutes to do it? Oh, no, you have a push mower. I'm sorry. Yeah. I have a riding mower.
I don't ever want to hear another word about my chandelier. Miss Riding Mower.
Yeah,
we live in the freaking country, dude.
Oh, yeah, on your big property with your big riding mower.
We have less than an acre and a half. We have a riding mower because it's necessary. You can't.
I have less than that. I probably have a quarter of an acre.
You live in the suburbs, dude. And we have it's a different lifestyle out there. You have to have a riding mower. You can't mow it by hand.
If you had a riding mower at your place, I would mercilessly make fun of you.
Well, I would too. I mean, that'd be ridiculous.
Like, I'll get on a riding mower and mow.
But I was thinking doing your property with a riding mower you could do it every day because it wouldn't take that long.
That would look so ridiculous if I was doing it on a riding mower. It really would.
I put signs. Hey neighbors, a lazy F lives here.
Yeah, right?
Are you kidding? That is that's luxurious.
No, it's lazy. If you have a small yard, unless you have a physical handicap, if you have a small yard, if you have a quarter of an acre and you need a riding mower for that, you are a lazy F.
I want a riding mower for a quarter acre.
You're the same kind of a-hole that's too lazy to use their turn signal anytime they go anywhere.
That's not true. I use a turn signal, and I would love a riding mower for a postage stamp-sized lawn.
Wait, 3 swipes and you're done?
100%. I mean, you know how much time I'm saving?
Yeah,
she's right about that.
You know how much exercise you're losing?
Exercise sitting on it? Oh, yeah, you're right. No exercise on that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do like the exercise of yard work. Because at least it feels like I'm being productive while exercising. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
get your steps in.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
Would you like a bonus thing?
what's that?
Would you like a bonus thing?
A bonus thing?
Yes.
I would love a bonus.
Kelly's going to give us the 3 things you need to know, but I'll add in a 4th. 31 years ago today, in 1993, the movie that makes me cry every time I watch it was released.
Armageddon?
Oh, that one too. But no. Rudy.
Oh, really? Oh, you Notre Dame fans.
Even though it's, like, not factual. But every time they start chanting Rudy, Rudy, and he gets a sack, I tear up like a baby.
We're stalling because Kelly's not in here because she's lost in the hallway because she can't
find her way back in the studio. Kelly. I think that's the wall. If I push, maybe the door will open.
Wait a minute, let me see if she's hiding.
Is she?
Kelly, are you okay? She said yes, but I don't know where she is.
In the dark. Tapping. We just thought maybe you were tapping around the wall trying to find your way back into the studio.
She was feeling her way down the wall.
Don't worry. I gave Blitz Nation a bonus thing. Rudy was released 31 years ago today, and I cry every time I watch the movie Rudy.
Oh, Rudy? I've never seen that.
Oh, it's good. We should watch it sometime.
Kelly can't watch anything right now.
That's so mean. It's true, though. All right, you guys, we got to get to the story. It is just a real terrible thing that happened in Asheville, Ohio last week. And now 2 people are facing manslaughter charges after a deadly dog attack. It happened last Thursday. 76-year-old Jo Eckelbarger was gardening in her condo complex down in Asheville when 2 dogs broke loose from a nearby home and attacked her and her dog. Eckelbarger was taken to Grant, Columbus, died shortly after. Her dog was killed as well. Responding officers shot and killed both vicious dogs at the scene. And now, 35-year-old Adam Withers and 61-year-old Susan Withers are charged with involuntary manslaughter and failure to restrain a vicious dog. Now, here is maybe one of the worst parts of it, is that Adam Withers has already been charged 3 times in the past in relation to these dogs. In fact, another dog belonging to a woman who lives nearby was attacked and killed last year by those same dogs. Yet, for some ungodly reason, these 2 people were allowed to have these dogs still in their home. It's unbelievable, this situation. And now a 76-year-old woman is dead because these dogs were allowed in this condo complex. It's disgusting. Talk about a failure of law enforcement there. That's really gross.
Man.
The election is 2 weeks away, and both candidates are hitting the ground running this week. Former President Trump is visiting, he visited North Carolina yesterday, where he held an afternoon rally in Greenville after an early stop to tour hurricane damage in Asheville. Meanwhile, Vice President Harris is making stops in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. Most polls have Trump and Harris running neck and neck within a couple of points each other, and all the battleground states, which this election cycle are Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Arizona, and Nevada.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Never
Just
gets
getting
old.
into the jam.
Never gets old.
Liam Payne reportedly had multiple drugs in his body at the time of his death last week in Argentina. A partial autopsy reveals the former One Direction member had something called pink cocaine in his body when he fell from his hotel balcony in Buenos Aires. Pink cocaine is a mix of drugs that includes meth, ketamine, and MDMA. Payne also had cocaine, crack, and benzodiazepine in his system as well,
Wow.
which is like a Xanax or Valium
That
type
is
situation.
some kind of cocktail.
Yeah, he was 31 years old. So I guess maybe a tragic accident or whatever. You don't know what that kind of drug situation in someone's circulatory system does to their brain, but that's a very sad situation, and those are your 3 things.
It's the Morning Blitz, 708, Thick, Kelly, Lewis. Tuesday morning, Doug. Rudy was offsides. Rudy got a sack. The whole team surrendered their jersey so he could play. And taint the memory of Rudy.
Look what you did, Doug. You got him all riled up now.
Unbelievable. Kind of like driving tests. When's the last time you guys took a driving test? We should send Kelly out today. Here, take my driving test.
Yeah. I think I could still pass, even with my vision being a little off.
Think so? You
Yeah.
think you can get through it? You think you can get through the maneuverability without knocking a cone or two?
Yes, I do. I feel like I'm way better with that than I was at 16. I took my test at 16 and passed first time, but then I lost my license in my early 20s and retook the driver's test in my mid-20s to get my license back. And passed. So I think I could pass.
Okay.
Today, if you sent me out, even with my wonky vision at the moment.
I took the driver's test 2012, I think.
2012, okay.
Yeah, because I left Ohio under a suspended license that was no longer suspended, yet they didn't remove the block. So when I came back, I had to go to court to get the suspension taken off and everything else. There's a bunch of hoops that I had to jump through, and they made me retake the driver's test, despite the fact that I had an out-of-state license.
Huh.
So I had to go through the whole maneuverability
Maybe
course.
you just don't give off a trustworthy vibe.
I don't understand why people would think that. I'm the poster child for trustworthy.
Yeah.
What about you, Thick? When's the last time you took a driver's test?
Was it when I was 16?
That long ago, huh?
Oh, you know what? No, actually, it wasn't that. I was still pretty young, but when I moved to Myrtle Beach, I had to take one.
You did, even though you had an out-of-state license?
Yeah, to get the local license.
Oh, wow.
Well, that must be policy for everyone.
It was then. I don't know if it is now. I mean, at least for South Carolina, it was. If you moved from out of state, you had to take their test.
I'm going to be honest. Sitting in that car, taking that maneuverability test as a grown adult is still nerve-wracking.
I didn't have to do the driving. I just had to do the written one.
I had to do both. Full-blown got in the car with the instructor.
Yeah, same.
Had to drive around.
When I was 16, yeah. When I went to South Carolina, I didn't have to.
Oh, no, I had to redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
She took it. Let's go out of the parking lot, make a left.
It is nerve-wracking
Make a
because they're
right.
not really, like, chumming around.
No.
They're not being your buddy.
Not at all.
You know, you're trying to, like, cut the tension because you're nervous. No, there's none of that. It's all business.
Yeah, you can make a joke. Pull into the course, sir. Oh, okay.
And then they made it awkward.
Yes. They did.
Oh, gosh.
You know, we have some of the best drivers in the country in Ohio.
Where?
I'm just I mean, that's how
I've yet to see one.
Well, that's how bad the rest of the country is, apparently, because according to Forbes, collecting data from June to July of this year, Ohio has the second best drivers in the nation. Lowest percentage of texting and driving, lowest percentage of speeding, lowest rate of changing lanes without using turn signals. So that's how bad the rest of the country is.
I'm
Lewis.
not seeing it.
That's what I'm saying. You know who was number one? Tennessee. Then Ohio, followed by Pennsylvania and Florida.
Yeah.
Worst drivers are in Hawaii, Oregon, and New Mexico.
New Mexico's all
You
spread
know,
out.
in Hawaii, you just need to know how to drive in a circle.
Right.
That's it.
Or ride a bike.
But yeah, 40% of people are confident they could ace a driving test today.
I'm confident in it.
I am too.
confident in it.
1,000%.
Okay, we need to get at anybody listening that works at the BMV. We need to set this up so we can all take a driving test, written and driven, and see who gets the best score.
I can pull up a written.
I'll fail a written.
Okay.
I'm going to admit that now. I'll fail the written, but I will pass the driver's
okay,
actual
I got a written.
car.
I got a written one. We'll go through some questions coming up next. How about that?
That's fine. Some morning blitz. Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis. 721. Sunny. 78 today. Not a bad Tuesday. Just a normal Tuesday. And 40. What is it? 40% of people think they could ace a driving test?
Yeah, and you know, there's some other numbers here that are just bizarre. Like 78% of people, the average driver understands about 78. I'm sorry, the average driver understands about 78% of their dashboard indicators and warning lights. Most people know their oil light, their check engine light. Less than half could identify their tire pressure light or their brake system warning. Most people have to Google what a warning light means. And 15% admit they've never looked at their car owner's manual one time. Kelly, have you ever looked at your car manual?
I think maybe I did it to program my Bluetooth.
Okay.
That was it. But then I do Google. I'll Google something, and I know what my tire light looks like.
Right.
Jen said she was rear-ended 3 times in the year and a half she lived in Hawaii.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Those are bad drivers. You got rear-ended 3 times in a year and a half. That's terrible.
Larry says, as a truck driver, I'll tell you, Ohio is not even close to second place on the safest drivers. Maybe in the top 30.
I'm just, if you look at those statistics, that's
Robert
what they're basing
says,
them on.
I'm sorry, Rick, but I have been an over-the-road truck driver, and now I live here in West Jefferson and drive a dump truck. Columbus has some of the absolute most moron and ignorant drivers I've ever seen.
You don't have to apologize to me. You don't have to say, I'm sorry, Rick. You're talking about Columbus. I'm talking about the entire state. I don't know. I'm just telling you, when it comes to the entire country and the states that have the lowest percentage of texting and driving, speeding, changing lanes without turn signals, Ohio is second best. That's all I'm saying. That's what the report is.
So, did they find the worst driving score in every state? And then Ohio became the second best of the worst?
Now, Ohio was the worst when it came to speeding up to beat a yellow light and eating while driving. Ohio is one of the worst.
We're hungry.
Well,
we got to eat.
Aren't you supposed to speed up to get to the yellow light? That means go faster, because the light's going to change.
I drive around with my mom a lot. She's in her 80s, and a very common phrase is, "Hold on, Mom, we're going through."
Yeah. Well, that's funny. So, we can't do the actual driving test portion right now. We need to do that. But we can go through some of these Ohio BMV test questions.
Uh-oh.
Here's one. They're all multiple choice. As you near an intersection...
No Google.
I'm not going to give you time. As you near an intersection, the traffic light changes from green to yellow. Your best action would be to apply the brakes sharply, be prepared to stop before the intersection, speed up to beat the red light, or be prepared to stop in the center of the intersection.
Okay. Would you like the real answer or the answer that I would go with?
I want the answer you have to get the question right at the BMV.
Prepare to stop before the intersection.
All right. You agree, Kelly?
Yeah, I get. How close are we to the intersection?
It says as you near an intersection. The traffic light changes
from... Prepare to stop before you... Yeah, prepare to stop.
Be prepared to stop before the intersection.
Yeah.
That is correct.
I mean, in real life, I speed up to get through the intersection before the light changes. Everybody does. Because yellow means go faster.
There are times when that maybe it's a distance issue, right? If you're really close to the intersection, of course you go through. It's a safety issue.
Called
there.
the point of no return.
But,
once you get to the point where you're...
But sometimes I feel like I'm at the point of no return, but really I should have stopped. And I only know that until it's, when it's too late.
I always feel like if I'm 25 yards away, I'm at the point of no return.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just need to go.
Everybody tries to make the yellow light, man. I don't care what the answer is. Everybody tries.
Right.
All right. You must pull over to the edge of the road and allow an emergency vehicle to pass only if it is approaching, regardless of your direction, only if it is following you.
Nope. You have to pull over regardless of the direction.
You agree, Kelly?
Say it again. Will you read that question
again? You must
again?
pull over to the edge of the road and allow an emergency vehicle to pass only if it is approaching, only if it is following you, or regardless of your direction.
Regardless of your direction.
Correct. Is this really on? What are some telltale signs of a drunk driver? That's really a question? Weaving between lanes,
yes.
Quick and sudden stops,
yes.
Driver slower than normal traffic flow.
All of the above.
All of the others, yes.
Yeah.
Now, see, driving slower, that's usually a weed thing, not a drinking thing. Drunk drivers drive
No,
speed a
that's
lot,
not
right?
true. I mean, maybe it's true. Why do I know what these people are doing in their cars? But I cannot tell you the number of people driving 10 miles under the speed limit on the freeway on the way to work. And I know that they're drunk. I know that they're maybe on drugs or something. But it's like, I know they're trying to make sure they don't get pulled over. So they're overcorrecting in a crazy way. I know they've got their,
right.
Their cruise control set to like 55 and a 65. I'm telling you, it's nuts. It happens every morning. I pass somebody going way too slowly on the freeway. And I know it's because they're drunk.
I see them in the left lane all the time. And I'm like, you're going to cause an accident because people get around you and they don't expect you to be going barely 50 in a 65.
Yeah.
In the left lane, moron.
Yeah. That's drunk decision making.
Next question, please.
All right, to avoid a collision, you should stay in your lane and brace for the accident, stop, turn, or speed up, drive across the left lane to the left shoulder of the road, move into the other vehicle's lane.
What were the first two again?
Stay in your lane and brace for the accident, stop, turn, or speed up.
Stay in your lane and brace for the accident. That's what I'm going to say. You should stay in your lane.
Lewis?
What I would do versus what I think the textbook answer is are two different things.
Well, do what you think the textbook answer is.
To avoid a collision, I would say if you're trying to avoid a collision, stopping and bracing for the impact is not going to avoid the collision.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
So
That's what I'm thinking.
So I would stop, turn, or speed up.
I'm going to go with that, too. And that was the correct one.
Okay.
All right.
Stop, turn, or speed up.
Try to avoid
Try to avoid it.
basically, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, and you asked me how to avoid it, and I
you
said brace for impact. Okay, got it. See, I told you I wouldn't pass. But that's what they tell you to do with deer, that you're not supposed to, like, jerk the wheel. You're supposed to brace for impact.
Well, deer is, yeah.
How? Yeah, I guess I don't know how that's different. But
I don't know.
So, yeah.
Let's see. That is that's a sign. I can't tell you that because they have the ones they'll show you the sign and say what is this. Okay, on a 2-lane road, you may pass another vehicle on the right when driving on a single-lane entrance ramp. The driver you are passing is traveling slower than the speed posted. The driver you are passing is making a left turn, or never.
never. You're not allowed to pass on the right.
The driver, no, it was, I can't go back and see what the question actually said. The answer said, I clicked that and thinking it was going to be right and it was wrong. Wait, let me go back.
What's the answer?
That's what I'm saying. I can't see it now.
I don't think you're allowed. You can't. Passing on the right.
Oh, the driver you are passing, okay, on a 2-lane road, you may pass another vehicle on the right when the driver you are passing is making a left turn.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, God forbid you wait for the person to make a turn.
Well, I would have passed him.
I guess you pass, yeah.
I straight up passed him.
When you see an emergency vehicle with flashing lights, you must slow down. Didn't we just do this? We did this one.
We just did that one.
Yeah, but, okay, so when you see an emergency vehicle with flashing lights, you must slow down and keep moving in your lane, stop exactly where you are, pull to the curb and stop, or keep driving in your lane.
Pull to the curb and stop.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It was just another one. I guess it was just worded different. All right. Well, some of these are the ones that ask about others drinking and driving. Those are weird to me. It's not my job to know if somebody's drunk. Why I have to be able to answer that on a test doesn't make sense to me.
Jason texted because I said that I frequently drive by people in the mornings when I come into work that are going 10 miles under the speed limit on the freeway, 55 and a 65. And I said, I know they're drunk, or I know there's something going on to where they do not want to get pulled over. And Jason texted, they're not all drunk. Some are just slow. And Jason, to that, I say that's something a drunk person would say.
It's the Morning Blitz, 742. Dick, Rick, Kelly Quinn, Lewis. Shout out to Dave Greenberg. Thanks for calling in and saying hi, bud. Good to hear from you. Sunny and 78 today as we inch closer to Halloween. It looks like the weather is going to cooperate so far, but you never really know in Ohio in October.
No, you don't.
Mad scientist going to open the garage?
I'm hoping that forecast holds true. Partly cloudy and 71 on Halloween. That's 9 days away, but we'll see.
I got to figure out what my Halloween costume is going to be. A little different.
I thought you decided on an accountant.
Yeah,
but then you'd have to buy a suit.
Right.
I know you don't
I have
hang
suit.
in
No, I have
you
suit.
do?
I have a ton of clothes.
Oh, yeah, you do. You have suits for your DJ gigs.
And just because there was a time when I used to dress up all the time.
I need khaki pants. I need a button-down,
I can do that.
Collared button-down shirt.
What? How does that?
I had a Bob Ross costume that I wore one night just to hang out with the kid while she was trick-or-treating.
That's a great costume. It's always a hit.
It's a sexy Bob Ross.
Sexy Bob Ross.
Where are you talking about, like handing out candy, or where are you wearing this at?
I wore it handing out candy once with the girl child.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to
there's a picture of
handing
me,
them candy?
There's a picture of me and her someplace floating around.
Well, the joke in the accountant is that you can't tell it's actually a costume.
Oh, okay.
I liked my Fred Durst costume from a couple years ago, but there will be no Christina Aguilera this year, so I can't go with that.
We still have time.
I can't bring back Star-Lord. I did that last year.
We have time to find a Christine. No.
I don't know.
Why does Fred Durst need Christina Aguilera?
Yeah,
Fred
really.
Durst is good on his own,
Yeah,
man.
what do you mean? Why is that necessary?
Well, it was part of the thing, but not this year. I don't know what costume I'm going to be this year. I got to figure that out.
You have 9 days.
I know. I'm waiting till the end of the.
I'm sure you'd be some superhero.
I did a superhero last year.
Yeah.
Just cut a bunch of holes in a sheet and go as Charlie Brown.
A happy ghost. Be the ghost. If I cut holes in a sheet, I'm not wearing anything underneath. I'm just saying.
Well, then you're not Charlie Brown.
That's funny.
I do believe he was clothed.
Well, golden opportunity missed
That
for Chuck.
sexy Charlie Brown? Is that what it is?
It's a sexy Charlie Brown.
Okay.
People do take Halloween a little far, though.
Oh, my gosh, man. Yeah, because, again, I black out the garage and put all this stuff up. But I do it like the day of Halloween. Like, I put the stuff up, then we have trick-or-treat, and then I take it down.
Why don't you just do it the day of? Why don't you let the neighborhood in on your,
There's
festivities?
Nothing, because you're not coming in my garage any other day. What am I gonna do? Put our vehicles and my boat on the curb and then
if
for
you
days?
really care about the holiday, yes.
What's he going to do with the chandelier, man?
True.
With the boat on the curb and the chandelier.
Do you use cobwebs over your chandelier? Do you deck out the chandelier for...
No. Nobody comes in the house.
Man, you don't sound like a very good neighbor.
Exactly.
We all want to come through your house and garage way before Halloween.
Not coming in my house.
Jeez.
Not that kind of neighbor. I put to-go bags on the porch.
What are you,
Nobody comes in.
Scrooge?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not even bothering to pay attention now. You guys are being ridiculous.
I think everybody should let everyone traipse in and out of their home as they please.
Exactly.
What is this? Communist China?
Exactly.
What the hell are you talking about? You guys are crazy.
You're probably the person that goes, please take one in the bowl. Just leaves a note next to the bowl.
Okay, now
No, never.
May I make a commentary, please, about Halloween and Christmas decorations, okay? Because let me make the commentary that there is an opportunity for your Christmas decorations to be elegant and classy. That is absolutely an option. You don't have to be that way, but you can do it if that's what you prefer in terms of decoration. There's no real opportunity to be elegant and classy with Halloween. It's just all about fun, right? It's all about plastic trash in your yard, blow up things, and just having a good time.
Trash, yeah.
Expensive plastic trash and having a great time. We're not trying to be elegant. We're not trying to do anything other than just have fun. So there is a difference there. I don't buy like that kind of stuff for my yard anyway, like the blow up stuff, and even for Christmas. I'm just more of a, let's just put some simple lights up. That's kind of what I prefer. But I'll tell you, do I enjoy a great Halloween and a great Christmas display? I do enjoy it. I just don't spend money on it.
Well, I think that, you talk about being elegant. No, but I do see a lot of houses decorated for Halloween that aren't the blow-ups. It's well put together. It's a good design.
Yeah,
It's got a theme to it, like with the really good-looking skeletons or a really great witch or whatever. You know what I mean? As opposed to, like, I have one big giant blow-up zombie. But I put it out in the front of the yard because I want people to see it from down the street, so they will come down our street. You know what I mean? That's really the main purpose of that zombie.
Jeff Reed this morning, his head is in the right place when it comes to Halloween costumes. Lewis dress up as a gift box with a huge tag that says 2 women from God. That is the most incredible idea I have ever heard.
I think you should do it.
You might have just saved Halloween,
there
Jeff.
You go.
Not all heroes wear capes, buddy. That's for sure.
You go.
On that note, do you think people go a little too extreme with their decor for Christmas and for Halloween?
Well, or which is worse?
Think about that for a second.
I know people who go all out for Halloween and then don't do much for Christmas. And then vice versa. I know people who don't really like.
Because
again,
Halloween is Satan's holiday, Rick.
well, I don't look at it that way. I just, I mean,
It's just personal preference. What do you like and what brings you joy? And do that.
if I had disposable income and plenty and disposable time, sure, I'd go all out for Halloween and deck out the yard. The time and the money. I mean, I do it for Christmas. I put up a lot of lights, man, at Christmas time, and that's enough work. And that's going to start like any day now because I don't want to wait until it's freezing cold to do it.
Do you think people are going overboard one way or the other, or not enough? Ghost on the Morning Blitz. Speaking of the Hunter's Moon, don't forget, listen to Ronnie this afternoon, 4:20. She'll tell you that Sonic Temple song of the day that we will play back tomorrow.
Is she going to show her butt?
I know.
Hunter's Moon? You said, speaking of Hunter's Moon.
Well, Ronnie Hunter's Moon. That's my correlation, not Ronnie's ass.
Oh, well, I mean,
if that's what Ronnie does, okay.
Isn't that what the song's about? Ronnie's ass?
I'm pretty sure that when Tobias wrote that's exactly what he had on his mind. Anyway.
I'm sorry, Ronnie.
Yeah, me too. Rick took that in a whole... I wasn't even going there. And I always go there.
She's the classiest gal at the radio station.
Right.
How dare you?
Exactly.
Have you guys partied with Ronnie?
Yes.
Ronnie would be making the same joke about herself.
Okay.
You guys are crazy.
When I do it, it just comes across as...
Like she's kind of a queen. You're supposed to respect her more than that?
Exactly.
I don't know.
She's a rock goddess of Ohio. I know that.
Ronnie is a big Halloween fan. I will say that.
Yep.
So we have asked the question, do you think people are going a little too far with Halloween or Christmas, perhaps, with the decor? Jeremy said blow-up decorations are the easy way out for Halloween, and they just don't look good.
Yeah, and when you see a yard full of them, it's like I don't even know what I'm looking at that point. I mean,
if there's no story with it, it's just kind of
a ton of them, just all
however,
willy-nilly.
I will say it still makes me smile.
Yeah.
If that's what you're doing and you have a ton of stuff and you put a lot of money into some Halloween decorations, you put them up, I'm going to love it as I drive by. It's not how I would do my yard, but I don't care. I'm still having fun.
Well, here's the other thing. If you put all that stuff in your front yard and you have kids in your house and your kids are ecstatic and love it, that's all that matters because that's who it's for.
Agreed. It's for, or if you're like a huge fan, we know a ton of adults who are huge Halloween fans. If you love that to me and it's your yard and you're having a good time, I am 2 thumbs up on that. I love it.
Yeah, I don't care.
Do it. But like I said, I would never show me some classy Halloween decorations. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see... I do have a neighbor who put up these beautiful lights around her eaves that they're gorgeous, and they're for Halloween. And they don't have any, yard decorations, just the lighting looks really cool. And I'm like, okay, all right, I see that. I like that.
You guys saw the house last year. I didn't take pictures this year, but it's all
And you have your gigantic...
The skeleton.
Yeah,
I wanted to make the skeleton anatomically correct, and I get vetoed all the time.
I can't believe this relationship isn't leading to marriage.
But I think that, the orange and the yellow lights look nice. I've seen just so many people that will stop by and take pictures and all that, and I think that's
I guess my point is it's not a time for being, demure and classy. It is a time for being fun. We're having fun. It's Halloween.
I think where you're saying, and I think you and I are on the same page, Christmas is more of an elegant holiday.
It feels like it. Although you can still really trash up your yard with Christmas stuff, and I still love it.
Who doesn't love a good beer can Christmas tree from time to time?
I think it's funny. I like a Santa on a Harley. Sue me.
No, that's great.
Especially if you go with High Life. That's the champagne of beers. You make a Christmas tree out of that. That's an upper echelon of classy.
Right.
By the way, Doug said for the right price, he'll dress up as Christina Aguilera for you, Lewis.
Thank you, Doug.
Oh,
just like you
got to take her.
Halloween. Chris said, speaking of Halloween costumes, he did it. It was a hit. Get a big box, make it look like the stand by the bed with an alarm clock, and add some odds and ends. And his had condoms on it, and tell him you're a one-night stand. I'm like, that's awesome.
Okay. Jay says, classy Halloween decorations, they're called lame decorations, Kelly, and all it is pumpkins and baskets with hay in them and corn in the front yard.
Carrie said, plastic trash in your yard. That's the best description I've heard so far.
Yeah, that's what it is. But who cares, right?
Jesse said they treat a lawn that's full with a full-on skeleton war with pirates and human style, and it's a really cool setup. Like that, it would be kind of like to see that. We should have some pictures of that.
I put blow-ups in my yard and they called the cops.
Oh, that happens.
Oh, maybe you're in an HOA. They don't like that kind of stuff.
Oh, no, he didn't say Halloween blow-ups. Maybe that's what it means.
Oh, I see.
Maybe he's talking about dolls.
Everybody decorates their yard differently.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? You get a bunch of blow-up sex dolls and you put them in costumes and put them in your yard. Yeah.
See the parents driving by that.
Yeah, they're calling the cops on Doug, of course.
And now, all right, listener. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Well, a Cleveland area mom could do jail time after a welfare check at her apartment showed she left her 3 young children at home alone for nearly 3 days so she could go to Miami. 32-year-old Dominique Knowles left her 10-year-old and 2 7-year-old twins with special needs home alone without a phone. Authorities say she would look in on them from time to time through a security camera. She would FaceTime them on the laptop at home. And apparently at school one day, the 10-year-old's 4th grade teacher decided, I'm calling the police. She told the police that her 10-year-old student told her that she talked to her mom on the camera the night before and that the mom ordered Uber Eats and it was left at the door. So this teacher's like, yeah, I'm calling 911. So they did send police over. They found the 3 kids. Dominique Knowles, found guilty of child endangerment. She will be sentenced tomorrow and faces 6 months.
What? Wow. Mom down there getting it in.
I mean, she did look in on them from time to time on the webcam. What could possibly go wrong?
She tried to make the argument to the police, I'm allowed to leave my children at home. And they said, you're not allowed to leave 7-year-old special needs twins at home alone. I'll tell you that.
Right.
That's against the law.
What if they're not special needs? Is it okay then?
I think you can. I don't know that there's... Now, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I do think you can legally leave your children home alone.
A 7-year-old?
I think that, what's the age, though?
That's what I know. I don't know if there is an age. Is there?
You got to be a nuts to leave a 7-year-old home alone.
Well, of course you're nuts to do that, but I don't know if there's a law.
Now,
child endangerment, obviously, is something that you think you could charge them with. But some lawyer, please text us at 99700 or police officer and let us know. How young is too young legally to leave your children home alone?
Sugar would know. I can text Sugar.
Do it.
I'll ask him.
Do it, baby. All right.
Mom down there going crazy.
Pretty grim story out of Washington State where deputies just east of Seattle were called to a home early yesterday. A couple and their 5 children lived in this home. Officers, though, found both adults and 3 of the children dead, a 4th juvenile wounded, and a 5th juvenile, a 15-year-old boy, was taken into custody. That teen expected to face murder charges. That is all we know.
Jeez.
Accused of taking out both parents and 3 of 4 siblings, injuring the 4th. Olivia Nuzzi, you remember her. She's the journalist involved in a really strange texting scandal involving an alleged non-physical relationship of some sort with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. She's now out of a job. New York Magazine, which had previously put Nuzzi on leave after she admitted she'd started a messaging relationship with RFK Jr. after profiling him for the magazine, says it has now parted ways with Nuzzi entirely. Now, New York Magazine says an outside investigation conducted by a law firm found no inaccuracies nor evidence of bias in Nuzzi's coverage of the 2024 election, yet the magazine says her actions created, at the very least, the appearance of a conflict and violated the policies they have in place to protect their readers' trust. So they're like, bye-bye, Olivia.
Is that her real name?
Olivia Nuzzi, N-U-Z-Z-I. Yep.
That's just bizarre. She's doing news, and her last name's really Newsy?
Not anymore. She's not.
Was doing news.
Yeah. All right, those are your 3 things.
Chili Peppers, 810 Morning Blitz, Thick Kelly Lewis on a Tuesday. I asked Sugar.
Robert Sugar.
And he said, and I quote, in Ohio, there is no legal age.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, so the question was, is there a law in Ohio that states how young or how old your child must be in order to be left alone? And according to Ohio.gov, Ohio law does not indicate an age that children can be left unattended. Parents and caregivers need to consider their child's maturity level and their ability to make safe and sensible decisions. So they leave it all up to the parents.
What about the parents' maturity level?
Right.
I mean, this is crazy to me that you could leave a 5-year-old at home alone all day. That's nuts. I would never in a million years do that.
Yep.
Maybe 12?
Yeah.
I wouldn't what? What are we going to say?
You wouldn't, because you're a good parent.
Well, I mean, it just seems like common sense.
But as you know, I mean, kids do mature differently. So putting a strict age on it, like when you might want to pop out to the corner store real quick and you have an 11-year-old, and if there was a law that stated they had to be 12, and you'd have to, I mean, it's kind of,
all right, yeah,
it should be up to the parent.
I see that.
But we're assuming that the parents are good people.
But I still feel like, I understand like a 9-year-old, this 9-year-old might be farther than this, but can we make it like 6 or 7 years old be a limit at least?
Yeah, right.
Some sort of limit.
You might have a mature 5-year-old, but your 5-year-old's not that mature.
Yeah. So if anything comes up, you're telling me this 5-year-old can handle anything that might happen while he's home alone.
Mm-hmm. Well, son.
No, I don't know.
Daddy's going out. There's ham in the fridge and water in the tap.
Right.
Jeez.
Tool.
Yeah.
Making the news. Because Maynard actually kind of admitted to they did something wrong.
Well, yeah, he said when streaming became the norm in music, a lot of artists fought it, and he was one of them. And now looking back on that, he says that was a big mistake for Tool to hold out as long as they did.
I feel like we missed the boat. Like, it started with downloads, 24 years ago. And then by the time we actually came out, downloads are done. Mm-hmm. We missed 20 years of reaching 2 generations of people to understand what it is that we do. Mm-hmm. In a format that, I don't like listening to the MP3 version of everything. I listen to CDs and vinyl.
Yes.
But that's the gateway to get them into the vinyl and, and the CDs. And I feel like we made a mistake not being on those mediums for 20 years. Me every year saying we should do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, she's a great interviewer.
Okay.
I don't know. It was
Here's
from Consequence.
let me say this, that I think that Maynard may have an excuse, and anybody else, and that is, let me tell you your excuse back in the day. Napster and LimeWire.
Yes.
That's your excuse for not wanting to embrace streaming.
And Eris.
Yeah.
And Kazaa.
And Kazaa was my favorite.
Else.
Kazaa had software and games, along with songs and movies.
Yeah, so, I mean, I understand the hesitance of artists who've been around for quite a while the hesitance to embrace streaming, because you were getting ripped off for a long time there at the beginning. So I get it. And plus, I don't think...
But streaming the music, I don't know. I mean, what do you do? I don't know. It's like everything else, Some people, accepted technology right off the bat, and some didn't. Right, when you're getting, nothing from Spotify to have your music on there. At that time, yeah.
Well, I mean,
nothing had been worked out legally.
Right.
It's a shame they didn't stream. Then you didn't have to pay an exorbitant amount of ticket prices to see Maynard turn his back and sing backwards to the audience the whole night. So you could just watch that on the stream and got the same thing.
I thought that was weird. And then he didn't want to be the main star he wanted the music to be the star. And I was like, well, I got to admire that. But I'd like to see you out front singing still. It's a live concert.
Right.
But yeah, still love Tool.
All right, it's 8:24. Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. It's supposed to be almost 80 degrees today, so I wore shorts and the t-shirt, but I have second-guessed that decision all morning because it is Arctic Tuesday up in this mother effer.
Oh, dude, it feels like this in the middle of July in here. That air condition's right above us, kicks on 5 times a day and freezes us to death.
Kelly can't see you, and I can feel my bones rattling.
Can I loan you my radio station issued
space heater?
Little space heater here? I'm doing good.
Do we have radio station issued sleeping gear, sleeping bags?
I don't think so.
All right. Normal or no? Being cold in the studio. It's not on either of any of our lists, but go ahead.
All right. Well, I do this. I saw this one. I was like, when I heat food in the microwave, it's 60 seconds, 90 seconds, whatever. I then race around trying to clean up, wipe down the counter, clean the Tupperware container, and get myself a drink all before the microwave finishes.
Yes!
You do it too?
I unload the dishwasher. If it needs done, I'm like, I bet I can unload this in the time my food's heating up. Yes!
I want to get everything done as quick as possible.
I love the
I don't
challenge.
have to deal with anything, and then I eat, and then that's it.
Absolutely.
I
love
try
that.
every time.
That's funny.
Anything I can do. I'm going to make that drink. I'm going to get, I give you my silverware, everything.
Yes.
I want it all done. So as soon as that comes out of the microwave, I'm eating.
Ready to go.
All right, good. That's normal.
I love it.
Right, Lewis?
I don't
is
do
looking
that.
at us like we're insane right now. So we're good, Kelly.
I watch the countdown as if I watch it, it's going to happen faster.
Well, you know better.
Yeah, no, I
Do
don't.
you watch a pot boil, too?
No comment. I don't do that.
All right.
I'll go do other things and come back, but I don't clean. I clean when I'm done. I'll clean while my food cools a little bit after it's been heated, and then...
Yeah, but you're making use of your time between your food prep and the first bite hitting your lips. You're making use of that time.
And microwave food does not stay hot as long as, really cooked food.
Oh, come on.
It doesn't. It
depends
cools
on
off
what
quick.
you microwave.
I feel like it cools quicker.
Depends on what you microwave.
All right.
All right, normal or nope? When grocery shopping, I absolutely never take the front item off the shelf.
Oh,
I
hell
always
no.
take the one behind it.
100,
even milk,
1,000,000%. Yes.
Because here's my thing that I envision is that somebody did an entire shopping trip with their carton of milk in their cart and then decided an hour later they didn't want it, so they put it back.
Right.
I don't want that carton of milk. I want the one behind it.
Sure.
Logic in that, I can see that.
I'm going to the back trying to find
Me
the
too.
one with the farthest expiration
Me too.
date.
And I do it with lunch meat.
Yep, everything.
I do it with
I do it
bagged salads.
Everything.
Same. All right, so we're all normal.
Yeah, I guess I do kind of do that. You ever search around the back of the aisle to see if anybody left something back there that they wanted because it was like the last one, but they didn't have that money to buy it today, so they put it behind something that they knew wasn't going to be gone by, like the plain Lay's potato chips. Nobody buys plain Lay's, so they set something they wanted behind. Of course you do. Since they said they wanted something behind so they could get it later. Did you ever do that?
I've done that with clothing before.
That's what I'm saying.
If I found something that really fit, but I wasn't absolutely sure about it, I would hide it and then sort of take my time to think about it first.
I did that at Target 3 weeks ago.
Yeah?
I found this long sleeve white t-shirt style hoodie.
Yeah,
Wasn't
one
sure,
left.
wasn't the last one left. Wasn't sure that I wanted it, especially because it was like $32 at the time. I'm like, do I really need this? I'm like, so I put it behind the, I think something in like the cosmetic aisle. There was like 60 of them that I knew weren't going to be gone. Came back 3 weeks. That shirt was on sale for $21. Went to my spot. Boom.
It was still there?
Still there. Bought it.
Wow,
I
that's
know.
impressive.
I know.
That is an impressive lack of cleaning amongst Target
I know,
employees.
Right? Anyway, here's one for you. Normal or no. You might be shocked to hear that I do this. When someone pulls out in front of you and goes 5 miles under the speed limit when there are zero other cars behind you, pull up next to them at the stoplight and stare at them like the dimmest person on the road. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I also throw up some sign language. And then when we get through the intersection and I'm in front of them, I throw up the sign language in my rear view mirror because I want to make sure that they saw it the first time I did it.
Lewis wants to start a confrontation.
Yeah.
I feel
Lewis
like among the
creating
three of us, Lewis is definitely getting shot in a road rage situation.
Right?
You are the one.
Yes. I mean, I'll give him the look. I'll look at him like, what is wrong with you?
Of the three of us, Lewis is definitely getting shot. I'm not sure it has to be a road rage incident.
No, I think you could be just walking down the street.
Right? Oh, you're him.
By the way, Jeff Smith buys plain Lay's potato chips, too. What do you mean nobody buys plain Lay's potato chips? They're potato chips. That is a real potato chip.
Salty, delicious.
Well, you guys all like plain?
Well, it depends on
I
what
like
I'm
them all.
doing.
I
mean,
love a
barbecue.
barbecue. I'll choose that first.
No,
Barbecue
that's what I'm
always.
saying.
But
Everybody goes barbecue.
That's fine.
if plain's the only thing there, I am
I feel
not
like there's-
afraid to buy plain.
I
Depends
feel like
on
there's-
what I'm eating.
See, I feel like there's always two levels of potato chips that are always there. Plain and sour cream and onion.
No, like yesterday, I had a roast beef and pepper jack sandwich, pasta salad, and some regular, original Lay's potato chips. So sue me. You look at me like I'm crazy. Do you know there are a lot of people that do that, Lewis?
Apparently. But I must admit, I am really impressed at your passion in which you defend the plain Lay's
I just
potato
don't
chips.
understand.
I mean,
I don't understand being attacked for eating Lay's
I don't
potato
think he's
chips.
attacking you. I think he is thinking about the lovely array of other flavors available.
No,
and
his words were, nobody eats plain Lay's potato chips.
I see him like standing in front of a group of people with a big blue stripe down. I stand here in front of all my kinsmen who also like plain Lay's potato chips. They can take our lives, but they can't take our freedom.
Christy loves them with melted cheese on them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Carrie likes them with chip dip. Marianne agrees with you, Lewis. They need sign language.
I'm one of those people that thinks if he doesn't like something that nobody likes. No, that's not true. I don't like sour cream, and I know 4 million people who do. Same thing with ranch dressing.
Okay, so Doug texted in his own normal or nope, said putting your toilet paper in the refrigerator feels very nice after spicy food. Trust me. Never thought of that in a million years.
Not sure I want to think of that.
I feel like if you're putting your TP in your fridge, you're also leaving your 5-year-old home alone.
It's the Morning Blitz. 8:39, Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. A couple of years ago, we all dealt with the pandemic. We all dealt with quarantine, being away from people. But there were a lot of things that kind of came out. We developed some habits. The one that I always said that, when they said, you should wash your hands, felt like that one was one that we should have been doing anyway. Like, I don't know why we had to be reminded of that.
Right.
That was just one of those things that I thought was always par for the course. After you're done with a meal, you wash your hands. If you do something that makes them dirty, you wash your hands.
No, but there's more technique that they were telling us. Like most people don't wash the back of their hands. Maybe just wash the front, the palm side.
Yeah, what was the song? What was the song?
Happy birthday.
Was that? I thought there was another one too.
Staying alive, that's for CPR.
I don't know.
Wash them hands for 20 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, it just felt like, those are the things that we should have already had in practice.
One thing that I do to this day that I did not start till the pandemic was washing the handle of my grocery cart using those wipes.
The wipes?
For the handle of my grocery cart. Never did it before the pandemic. I do it every time now.
Okay.
To this day.
One woman said, haven't worn a bra or pants with a zipper since 2020.
I like it.
That's great. Yeah, I'm glad that people are keeping up with the washing and the sanitizing practices. Some still refuse to buy groceries in person.
Yeah, there's still a lot of click to pick or whatever shoppers.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's just you found it to be convenient,
right,
so it's nice to incorporate into your daily life, whether we're in pandemic or not.
You know what people do now? They call in sick. They don't go to work sick.
You're right about that, Thick. You're right. Now before I felt like I was being weak if I called off sick.
Yeah.
Like I'm just willingly staying home and letting somebody else cover my job. That shows bad character. That's how I used to think.
Right.
And now I don't want people coming in sick, and I won't come in sick either. Will I?
I know.
I have given you COVID
since,
twice, but I didn't know.
No, but you didn't know. But since 2020, have you ever and you be honest, because I've done it, come to work sick?
Yes.
You take meds and you go to work and you just get the job done.
I guess so, but I've been fever free. I've never come to work with a fever.
Yeah, no,
Never.
that's true. That I can't say that. I've never been in here with a fever since.
If I'm catching a cold, though, and that still can spread, it's probably not good to come with a cold. But man, sometimes those things last a couple weeks. What are you going to stay home?
I know, but the fever almost guarantees it, and it doesn't. You will become non-contagious before 2 weeks is up.
You know the one
even though you still have symptoms.
You know one that kind of came with the pandemic, but it did not stick around. Fast food workers wearing the gloves when they hand you your food.
They don't still do that?
No. And you know what else You know what else bothers me about fast food workers? When if I get a beverage from a fast food place and you grab your hand over top the lid to hand me my
don't like that either
beverage. And I never really paid attention to it until the quarantine.
You mean like this?
Yes.
I'm doing it over top.
Yeah.
Because why? If it's got a lid
you don't
on
want
it,
them touching the rim.
Got the
around
lid.
or
You're touching the
something?
rim.
you gonna lick the rim?
The hole in the top of it is not fully closed. So where the straw goes in is not completely 100% closed.
It feels more unsanitary to grab
Yeah.
a drink
Yeah,
from the
I
top
get
than it does
it.
around the bottom.
So if
or,
you got
know.
some dirty smegma on your hand and you reach over the top of my thing, that can
What
possibly
in the heck
fall
are
in my
you
drink.
doing?
I'm not doing anything. I'm not the one reaching for glasses with smegma on my hand.
I love that word. I've always loved that word.
Thank you.
Kelly's over here cringing.
Gross.
No, but you know what I mean, though? Like, that just doesn't sound like a very sanitary thing to do. And again, if you're going to wear the gloves, if you're not changing them with every order, there's really no purpose in wearing the gloves. But I just feel like there are certain things at fast food practices that have kind of went away after the pandemic that maybe shouldn't have.
Probably. I don't know. I was trying to think of something that I do. I'd have to think about it. I mean, I do love being able to just order food and pick it up from everywhere now. You know, I mean, that was always, you could go get a fast food order, but now you can order everything online and it's ready when you get there.
All right. We want to know. Go ahead, Kelly. Sorry.
No, go on.
We want to know if you have any quarantine habits that kind of stuck around or you created some. Alice in Chains on the Morning Blitz. It's 8:47. Thick Kelly Lewis talking about quarantine habits that stuck around. Do you guys have anything?
I just do my shopping cart. I make sure it's clean. I've known even before the pandemic. Maybe they're like, remember they were saying one of the big causes of pink eye are shopping cart handles.
Oh, is that right?
So I remember being aware of it, but during the pandemic, I started really cleaning my shopping cart handles, and I still do it.
Yeah, I mean, they still have the wipes out there when you go into the store, so you can grab them.
Yeah.
Darren said in Gahanna he was eating at Steak and Shake this past weekend, and the burger chef was not wearing a hairnet over his fro. So I guess that didn't stick around.
On our Facebook wall,
I thought that was always a thing.
I thought so too. Our Facebook wall, Chip said, I do not touch anything in a bathroom after washing my hands. I'll use a paper towel to turn off the faucet, the door, and exit, all that stuff.
Huh.
A lot of people are still saying they do the pickup and the Walmart pickup and DoorDash. You know.
Mike said, I have a really hard time putting my middle finger down since the pandemic.
Ashley says she just doesn't want to be around people at all.
Yeah, that became a thing.
This person texted in that they really got used to to-go cocktails with takeout.
Yeah, that's
a
right.
good one.
That was a new one.
And you'll be shocked to know that a lot of people are turning it into something that government and government control and whatever, you know, that kind of thing for whatever reason, which I don't, you know, that wasn't the point, but okay.
Wait, say again now? They think what?
I do the opposite. Government's not going to tell me what to do.
I got you. Yeah, I mean, look.
Can't play along if you never follow the rules anyway.
Everything was just a, you know, what do you call it? Not a law, but a...
suggestion?
Yeah, but there was a word for it.
A mandate.
Mandate, they're telling you something, but it was, you know, guidelines.
Listen to this. This should make you feel great about eating at Olive Garden. Amber says when you train as a server working for Olive Garden, no matter what, even before the pandemic, they teach you when you grab a glass to hand to a customer, if your pinky cannot reach the bottom of the glass and your hand is up too high.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Things you never knew.
Bill says he really got used to nobody driving on the roads, and
That
that's a
was
real
awesome.
shame today.
That was awesome.
That was
I like
pretty
driving
nice.
on the roads. We went to Reds games during the quarantine when you had to like sit space. It was awesome. Felt like I had like my whole row to myself. It was great.
Okay, this is interesting. Dave Greenberg said, after having a transplant, I developed a sixth sense about germs, and the pandemic got the world to catch up with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet that's true.
Matt's the truck driver disinfecting my phone. I do that more now than I think I ever did. Like, I'm now to the point where like I probably once a week at least take my case off and clean my phone and and I never used to do that. Like, my case was on until I got a new phone and I had to transfer it into a new, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Megan said she makes her children wash their hands as soon as they come home from school every day.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see like some of the stuff that you think we probably should have been doing. And again, there are definitely those who had their own reasons, but they went to what seems like more extremes than other people, but to each their own. But I definitely think that, if nothing else, it made me think a little more. I always thought I was a clean person, but it made me find ways where I wasn't as clean as I thought I was.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all found that out. I mean, the germaphobes, they were already living that way, and people like Dave who had no choice. But yeah, a lot of us went, oh, wow, I didn't realize that was that dirty. Or, yeah, I really needed to be doing this all this time. You know? Somebody said, I think we should still use social distancing of 10 feet. Honey said, COVID made me more aware of places being crowded. Now I am less likely to go into a business if they are more crowded. But that has everything to do with my kids being jerks and not us getting sick.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, 10 years from now to say we lived through that time and see what comes of it then. And kind of thing, because I do, I'll agree with a lot of people. I think there were definitely some extreme measures, but I also think there were, some things that that encouraged us that we probably could have been doing better anyway that came out of it.
Let me tell you what I love, and I know everybody complains about it, but if I don't love it, and that is a Zoom call. Yeah. Let me stay at home. Thank you. I love to do a meeting when I'm not working. I will enjoy. I will join in a meeting if I can do it from home. Thank you. Long live the Zoom call or Google Meet.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we do now, because I can remember the days where we're going to have a meeting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like, now I got to drive back to the radio station. They don't make us do that anymore. Nope. We just have a Zoom call. It's fantastic.
And I'll tell you what, I was not a fan of the mask in the summertime, but I'm not going to lie. The mask in the winter wasn't bad.
No, it helped. I still see masks. I swear every time I go into Target, I see a mask. Somebody's wearing a mask.
I mean,
every time.
Getting gas in the middle of January with that mask on, I was like, my face isn't as cold as it used to be.
I saw a Coda driver yesterday with a mask on. I was like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Anyway, you can continue this conversation all day long on our Facebook wall if you're so inclined to do so. We put that up there. Feel free to chime in.
Lisa Elkins says sanitizer after pumping gas every time.
Oh, you know what? That's such a good idea that I don't do.
It really is.
Yeah. You know what? These days, I feel like I got to wash everything just walking in and back out of the gas station. There's one chain that used to be its own thing, and then it got bought by another, and I don't know what happened, but I feel like it just, cleanliness was not in the handbook anymore. Yes.
I knew it.
Dude, ever since 7-Eleven took over, I don't know what the hell happened, but it is going in the wrong
floors,
direction.
baby.
Oh my God.
My shoes are always stuck to the floor in a Speedway.
And it's the one store that I self-check out of that thing. I'm in and out.
So Amber said she never had COVID, that she knows of anyway, and she worked in social services department at a nursing facility right in the midst of COVID. Said I had to move each resident into and out of quarantine, but I still tried to hold my breath in an aisle at a grocery store if there are more than 2 people in it. Still does that.
Yeah,
Holds her breath. Man, you've never had it. Boy, I hope you don't get it, because I feel like the people who never had it, and they finally do get it, it's usually really bad. Like they just are so sick. So.
Yeah, I think the first time I had it, I was really bad. The second time, maybe a day and a half. And then I was like, whatever, I'm good. But then you stay away from people for however many days.
You're a COVID pro now. Look at you.
Not really. Not really. I didn't mind the staying away from people, though. I'm not going to lie. But I went through stages, though, because then there were times where I'm like, I just wanted to interact with somebody. Like, I couldn't wait to go to the grocery store just to say hi to someone. Hey, you. It's good to see humans.
Yeah.
Oh, you're giving me the finger. Okay. I'll go over here.
Roger said one thing he missed was when it was winding down and they first brought the concerts back, and he's right, you could get great seats for cheap and they were less crowded because not everybody was full in.
Right.
And he's right about that. So, yep, you can keep those coming on our Blitz Facebook page.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Well, despite security cameras, 2 expensive Jeeps have been stolen from the parking garage at John Glenn Airport the past 2 weeks. A man came home from vacation last Friday to find his brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee missing. The week before, another Jeep Grand Cherokee was stolen, and it was later found on the west side, stripped down to the frame. A car theft expert believes it's an organized ring of car thieves who are stripping the expensive parts, sending them overseas. Airport police say the investigation continues.
Are those a little easier to steal? I mean, it's just weird, back to back.
Yeah, back to back. Must be, I don't know, maybe it's in high demand on the black market or something. Who knows? Harvey Weinstein's been diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia, an uncommon form of bone marrow cancer. He's said to be receiving treatment in prison at Rikers Island in New York. It's a little like the Deshaun Watson situation. You don't cheer because you're a civilized human being, but does it feel like you can't really muster up much more sympathy than not cheering?
Yeah, no,
Yeah. So, I don't know. All right, a recent survey of 3,000 Americans shows 44% are diehard fans of horror movies, and they watch them all year round. Do you guys watch horror movies all year round?
No.
Me neither. I do it sort of during the season.
Yeah, I mean, I might happen to see a new movie that I've never seen before that might happen to be one, but I mean, as far as classic Halloween movies go, no, not really.
Yeah. 52% say they first fell in love with the genre before the age of 12. Most say they were introduced to horror movies by a family member, and the most cited very first horror movies watched were Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Exorcist, Jaws, and Friday the 13th.
That's funny.
As we know, Thick Rick was 7 years old when he saw Jaws at the theater.
And I think I was 8 or 9 when I saw The Exorcist.
Yes. In terms of horror subgenres and our age or our generation, psychological horror movies are cited as the favorites for baby boomers, Gen X, and millennials. I think that covers the three of us in here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Psychological horror. Gen Z supposedly loves survival horror, like A Quiet Place or Texas Chainsaw Massacre or anywhere where you're running for your life.
See, I like The Quiet Place. That's something, if that came on, I might watch it out of the Halloween season.
Yeah, that's not too Halloween
because
specific.
I don't feel like it's the Halloween genre. Same thing where I guess technically Alien would be a horror movie, but I would But I would watch that out of the Halloween.
That's supposedly like science fiction horror subgenre, and it goes along with like Cloverfield, which I like. Cloverfield
was good.
That's a good movie. The other subgenres they said were we said psychological thrillers, survival horror movies, supernatural or paranormal or possession, like The Conjuring or The Exorcist. Let's see.
Yeah, I like those.
Horror comedy, like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, some of those are good.
Yeah.
Cocaine Bear, which was
no, that's not on anybody's list.
It was lacking in the comedy.
Yeah. What are your favorite subgenres?
I wanted to mention real quick, Austin, Texas, celebrating big this month because Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out 50 years ago.
Is that right?
October 11th.
I have never seen that.
Oh, is that right?
It has always seemed like too much for me.
Leatherface, yeah.
I'm not into like bloody horror movies, really.
Right.
It kind of makes me sick to my stomach. I do love psychological thrillers. Love them.
Yeah.
So that's what I tend toward, and it fits in with my people, my baby boomers, my Gen Xers, and my millennials.
I'm with you on that one.
All right, guys, those are your three things.